Hello, and welcome back to FilmPro Productivity and Success, the podcast that helps film professionals and other creative people to live a more focused, effective, and happy life. My name is Carter Ferguson, and this is episode 140. 3 more perils of invaluable wisdom. Silence is the sleep that nourishes wisdom. Francis Bacon, unquote. And last week's show went down so well that I have decided to extend the concept onto this week's show. Last week's show was 3 pearls of invaluable wisdom. This week's show is 3 more pearls of invaluable wisdom. It's as simple as that. And there's a funny thing, productivity-wise, for those of you that do marketing. But oddly, if I do a show where it says 10 ways to stop procrastination, for example, it's far more likely to get listened to than if I just do one called procrastination. So I find episodes that have got a number in the title actually end up getting more downloads. I've no idea how that works, but it's just the way it is. If you want to hear more of this sort of thing, go back to last week's show and you'll get 3 more pearls in there as well. But let's get straight on with the show today with number 1, which is listen more than you talk. I'll say it again. Are you listening? Listen more than you talk. And let's just get this straight out there. You must prioritize active listening over talking in your interactions with other people. By listening more, you will have the opportunity to gather valuable information, gain insights, and understand different perspectives. And when we truly listen, we show respect for the speaker, their opinions, and their experiences. But when we talk excessively, without giving others a chance to express themselves, it can all too easily lead to misunderstandings, miscommunication, and, importantly, missed opportunities. Listening more than you talk requires active participation, like things like maintaining eye contact, providing verbal and non-verbal cues of understanding, and asking thoughtful questions. It involves setting aside our own preconceptions and biases, allowing you to genuinely absorb the information that is being shared. The adage that we must listen more than we talk encourages us to cultivate good listening skills as a means of personal growth. By valuing and prioritizing listening, we can enhance our understanding of others, foster meaningful connections, as I say, and engage in more productive and more fulfilling conversations. And there's a reason why, I should add here, that we have a right to remain silent when dealing with the law, and any good lawyer will remind you that you must not offer up any more information than you have been asked for when you're interacting with law enforcement, and it's to ensure that you won't reveal anything that you'll later regret. And the same goes for day-to-day conversation. Knowledge is power, so sometimes, especially in business, you must keep what you know to yourself. By listening instead of talking, on the other hand, you will likely gain valuable information. So this is a valuable skill that you will need to practice, but it's a tremendous skill to cultivate. Knowing when not to speak in a professional environment is just as important as knowing when to talk at all. So that one, number 1, was listen more than you talk. Next up, we have a place for everything and everything in its place. The importance of assigning a specific location or purpose to each item or object and ensuring that they are returned to their designated place after use is a fundamental productivity concept that promotes efficiency, reduces clutter, and simplifies daily routines. Having a designated place for everything saves us time and effort spent searching for misplaced items and helps us maintain a clear and organised living or working space. When everything has its place, we can easily locate and access what we need, increasing productivity and reducing stress. Organising the physical aspects of our lives also grants us the sense of organisation in our thoughts and our tasks and our responsibilities. One thing I notice all the time is that when my desk starts to get busy, and it's getting that way now, when it starts to get busy, it is a direct reflection of my mind. And as I look around in the office behind me, which has got all these incomplete things, I've got sets of accounts I need to be working on, I've got equipment that I took out and I need to put away, I've got a new case there for lighting stuff that I need to fill up and put in its place. That's a reflection of what is going on in my mind. I've got all these unfinished things and I'm kind of on the back foot a lot of the time. I've still found time to do new shows though, so I'm not doing that badly. So a place for everything and everything in its place emphasises the importance of organisation and order, is my point. By assigning specific locations and purposes to our belongings and maintaining a systematic approach to tasks and responsibilities, you can enhance efficiency, reduce clutter, and achieve a greater sense of control and balance in your life. And a petty annoyance of mine in this vein is people who store things that they use once in a blue moon on top of stuff that they use every single day, so that every time you go to retrieve something, you've got to move the item on top to get to it. Just don't put that item there. Don't put it there. If you're stacking plates, for example, and you put, I don't know, a jug that you use only at Christmas time on top of the plates that you use every single day, then every single time, 10 times a day that you go to get a plate, you have to move the jug. Now, if you've got no space, I can understand why that might be a thing, but if you've got the space, just put the jug somewhere else instead and you'll solve it. This sounds like a first world problem, I recognise that, but with a place for everything and everything in its place, you wouldn't waste these little moments of time. You wouldn't give it wear and tear, etc. These are all just examples, but a place for everything and everything in its place is number 2 in my list. And finally today, something that's perhaps a little bit more difficult to get your head round and something you possibly haven't put any thought to at all is the adage that what you are not changing, you are choosing. What you are not changing, you are choosing. If we are unwilling or resistant to making changes in our lives, then we are essentially making a choice to remain in our current situation or circumstance. Change is a natural and constant part of life, though. When we resist or avoid change, we are often holding on to familiar patterns or staying within our comfort zones, even if they no longer serve us or hinder our progress. By recognizing that not changing is, in fact, a choice, we become more aware of our own agency and the power we have to shape our lives. This one forces us to reflect on the consequences of our inaction and consider the potential benefits and opportunities that come with embracing change. It motivates us to evaluate our circumstances, identifies areas that require change or improvement, and make deliberate choices that align with our goals and aspirations, because only by embracing change and making conscious choices can we create a more fulfilling and meaningful life. As Mahatma Ghandi once said, change yourself. You are in control. And an example of this would be how I'm promoting the show this season. The way I have been promoting in the past, it used to work, it doesn't work anymore. And that's due to the way social media platforms have changed the way that they can be interacted with. Lots of these online organizations, these websites or apps or whatever you want to call them, are changing the way they work so that in effect you have to pay them in order to use them for promotion. Whereas it used to be you could pay or use other services that would use the platform to get information out there. So I'm having to completely change how I do things this season. And as you're listening to this, I'm not sure how it's doing. I've got someone who's working with me on the promotion of it this season. I'll see how that goes. I'm throwing a bit more money in different areas this season. And I'm doing very specific things on Twitter at the moment. Today I have started unfollowing people on Twitter because I found Twitter just isn't working for me anymore. I've also found, just by assessing what doesn't work, that Instagram seems to work better, but then Instagram has its own problems because it's very, very difficult to get people to follow a link on Instagram. And what I'm trying to do is get people to see my content, follow a link, which at the moment is hidden mostly in my profile page, and then subscribe. So they're having to hit like 4 buttons just to get to subscribe to the show, and it's really not that easy. So I'm actually doing a show on this particular topic, which expands on this topic anyway, I should say, later on this season. So look out for it. That one's called Pattern Recognition. But I think that's 2 episodes down the line. I'll let that one come around. But just for just now, this one we were talking about was what you are not changing, you are choosing. And let me just recap, in fact, on what I've been discussing today. I hope you can find the time to consider these things and utilize what you have learned here. Number 1 was listen more than you talk. Number 2, a place for everything and everything in its place. And finally, number 3, what you are not changing, you are choosing. So that's enough for now. Please do spread the word about the show if you can. And if you've found what I'm talking about here to be valuable, have another listen, write some notes, and tell a few folks about it as well. I'm always looking for new listeners. Please help. Anything you can do to promote the show, whether it's sharing social media posts or telling folk to listen indirectly, will make a world of difference to the listener numbers. And the thing I'm asking people to do regularly now is, I think it's regularly, I think I said it last week, I'm trying to make it regular, is screen grab your phone as you're listening to this, if you're listening to it on an app, or if it's your desktop, screen grab the desktop and post, I'm listening to this show now. If you can put a link in that post as well to get people to subscribe to it, but that would be fantastic. But yeah, next time I am going to do... I wonder if next time is... I think it is next one. The next one I'm going to do, I think... Hold on, I need to look this up. Yes, the next episode is pattern recognition, the one I was talking about earlier in the show, so look out for that one. It's very, very interesting. But let me end now with some words from Leo Tolstoy, who said, "Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself." Get changing, folks. And in the meantime, take control of your own destiny, keep on shooting, and join me next time on Film Pro Productivity and Success. The music that you're listening to right now is Adventures by Himitsu, and you can view the full show notes for this episode only on the official website, filmproproductivity.com. Go there and check it out. You can also follow my personal accounts on Twitter and Instagram at fight_director, or follow the show's official account on Twitter at filmproprodpod, or on Facebook at filmproproductivity. Please continue to support the show by subscribing, spreading the word, and leaving an awesome review.